Okay, Vicky, the session is live and get set up, so I'm making you a host back again. You can make me a co-host.
All right, will do.
Thanks.
All right, done. I'm hoping you can't hear the lawnmower or the blower in the background. It never fails.
It's not audible.
Okay. Jackie. Hello, Jackie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. We're going to have a great class today.
Thank you.
Folks coming in. For me, it's Monday morning still.
Me too. We're morning, afternoon. Where are you located?
I'm doing great. There's Yvonne. Yvonne, I love your background.
Oh, thank you, Vicky.
Do you know where that is? I just know it's
That's
beautiful.
Perth, Australia.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Swan River.
I remember. What a treat. Oh, wow. We have Minnie. Hi, Minnie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Doing great. I'm just going to wait another minute or two. Probably have a large group today, which is always so much fun when you're working with Zoom. Everybody looks great. There's Carol. We have Martha.
Can I ask you a question before we start?
Sure, of course.
I had registered with Zoom, but I don't know how to log in again.
Onto your Zoom account.
Right.
Okay, Yvonne, you know what? If you stay a little bit later after class, I'll be happy to walk you through that.
Thank you.
If that's okay. Do you have a couple of minutes? Okay.
Sure. Thank
after
you.
Class. Wonderful.
Hi.
You're so welcome.
I'm
Hi.
Josephine, and I don't see my picture. My face is not there. What am I doing wrong?
It isn't. You know what, Josephine, we're going to, that's one of the first things we're going to do in class today.
Okay.
So I'm going to be showing everybody how to turn their cameras and their audios on and off. So
Okay.
Yep. All good.
Okay, so I'm Angela and I see my picture very big, but I don't know how to make it small. So can you see me?
Yes, Angela,
Okay.
I can. And that's another thing we're going to go over is how you can switch your view so that you can see other people on the call. We're going to be
so
talking
you'll
about
show
that
us
too.
how to do that. Okay.
Yes, most definitely. And I'm just curious today, do we have any folks that are brand new to get set up? This is maybe your first class, show of hands or anything. Yeah, Minnie, your first class. Anybody yet? Joanne?
No, I took another class.
You took it, okay. Sandra, okay. So
I took it once before also. I took it about 2 months ago.
All right, so kind of a newbie. That counts. Well, welcome to all of our new folks. I'm so excited to have you with your virtual hand raising. Dolores, you're not muted, so Dolores, feel free to just ask away.
Oh, okay. I can't see my face. I just see my name.
Right, and I'm going to show everybody, that's one of the first things we're going to learn today is how do we turn that camera on so I can see everyone's fabulous face.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there. Don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen just for a couple of slides that I have, and then I stop sharing and we do everything together. So let me start off by sharing my screen. And again, sometimes it eclipses some of your screen. So just be aware of that. And I'll stop sharing after a couple of minutes. So first of all, welcome everyone. Welcome to our class today. I'm just going to resize my screen there. I'm Vicki, your Get Set Up guide. And what I'm going to do is, Victor, could I ask you to mute everyone? We have some background noise. Thank you so much. I'm Vicki, your Get Set Up guide for today. And I also wanted to introduce Victor. He's with our Get Set Up support team. We love our support folks. They're amazing. Victor's going to be helping me out today. He's going to be, monitoring the chat to see if any people have any questions. If anybody has any technical issues, please let us know. So anyway, just a little bit about me. I'm in San Jose, California. That is Northern California in the heart of Silicon Valley. I worked in the high-tech industry for about 30 years, and I've done a number of different things, everything from technical support, lots of technical training, instructional design. I have taught folks from around the world. I've taught people who are very technical, as well as folks who maybe are more like yourself, just starting to dip their toes into this world of technology. And being a guide with Get Set Up lets me do what I love to do best, and that's educate folks about technology. So just a little bit about me. For today, we're a learning organization and we love it when we can see you and when people can turn their cameras on. Some of you, I'm going to show you how to turn your camera on. And I also know that for other folks, you may be a little camera shy, you may just be a little uncomfortable, and I completely understand that. I leave this up to you. That's your decision. We just love it when we can see everybody. It makes it more interactive, more fun, because we're all about, getting connected, staying connected. Today's class is being recorded, and if you would like a copy of the class, you can email us at help@getsetup.io. And today we are being joined via live stream. Welcome, folks. You can see and hear everything we're doing today, but I always recommend that people register for class, and that way you can fully participate with us. And lastly, Get Set Up is a training organization. Any products or services, this is all about the training for us. We offer classes, interest groups, social hours, 7 days a week. We now are offering classes in the US, the UK, India, Australia, New Zealand, and we're going to be opening up Singapore in just a little bit. So we have 24/7 coverage. And I always joke with students in my class, if you're an insomniac and you're up walking around at 2 in the morning, log on to Get Set Up and there'll be a class or an interest group or social hour that you can take somewhere around the world. If you are interested, for those folks who've been taking some classes with us, and maybe if you're new, just something to think about. For those people who are comfortable, who are passionate about something, and might be interested in hosting an interest group or maybe a social hour, let us know. Please contact us at help@getsetup. We'll route it to the correct folks. And just let us know if you'd be more interested. We love bringing our members, our community members into not only taking our classes, but hosting them as well. And we're making it easier and easier to invite others to join Get Set Up. So if you've been enjoying the classes, interest groups, the social hours that you've been taking on Get Set Up, spread the word. Let other friends, family, colleagues know when you register for a class. We make it very easy to tell others about the class, to share a link. So invite a friend. All right, what are we going to cover today? We're going to start off by showing everyone how to activate, how to turn on their microphone and their cameras. We're going to be learning how to use the chat feature. I'm going to show you what controls are available to you in the participant screen. We'll talk a little bit about Zoom etiquette, pass along some techniques, and we're also going to show you how to change your view. And so that's where we are today. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And the first thing that I'd like to show everyone to do is turn your cameras on and off. So I have a couple of folks saying, I'm here, I see my name, how do I turn my camera on? So you've probably figured this out already, that when you look onto the screen, when if you can see your face right now, your picture, then your camera is turned on. So for those of you who just see your name and want to know how to turn your camera on, I know we all may be on different devices today. I'm on a laptop. And just so that you know, for those of you who are on smartphones and tablets, we actually have another class that we offer for beginner Zoom just for tablets and smartphones. So you can always join on that as well. So let's get started. For those of you who are on a PC today, whether it's a MacBook, you're on a laptop, a desktop, what you'll do is you'll go down to the bottom of your screen, and you may need to jiggle your mouse a little bit or use your touchpad to activate your Zoom control bar. And so that's, if you're on a PC, a laptop, you will go down to the bottom of your screen. And when you move your mouse around, that will activate your Zoom control bar. If you're on a tablet today, what you'll do is if you tap on the top of your tablet screen, your Zoom control bar will show up on the top. And you will see different symbols. You'll see something that says, mute or unmute, start video or stop video. That's where your Zoom control bar lives. And for anyone who's on a smartphone, if you tap at the bottom of your phone screen, that's where your Zoom control bar lives, at the bottom there. So that's how you get to your Zoom control bar. Once you're on, once you find that Zoom control bar, what you want to do is to turn your camera on. The left-hand side of your Zoom control bar, you will see an icon. It's a symbol that looks like a little video camera. If your camera is currently turned off, that icon will read Start Video. And if you tap on the Start Video, excuse me, it will turn it on. Sorry, it's my allergies are acting up. So everyone, for those of you who haven't turned your camera on, try tapping or clicking on Start Video. And Vivian, we have a separate class that goes over hosting a Zoom, starting and hosting a Zoom meeting. We won't do that here, but maybe Victor can put that link into the chat. Let me know if you're still having trouble.
Vicky, where do we get the start bar?
Yvonne, what type of a device are you on today?
A laptop.
A laptop? If you go down to the bottom of your screen,
I am.
that Zoom control bar, that Zoom screen, your window, at the bottom of your screen, that's where you start seeing your Zoom control bar. It will say,
don't see it.
You don't see it? So not at the very, very, very bottom of your screen, but in your Zoom window. And let me go ahead, Yvonne, I'm going to very quickly, just briefly share my screen. So maybe this will help. Just share my screen. Just give me a second here. let's go back to where we were. Let me do it this way. It makes it easier if I share it the other way. Give me one sec. Sorry about that. Let's go. I think this will work out better. All right. So Yvonne, and for those of you who are on a laptop, I've shared my screen. So I'm not talking about all the way down here where you can see these. When I go down to the bottom of my Zoom window, these are the icons that I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay.
You're
thank
welcome. Let me stop sharing because it eclipses your controls. You're welcome.
Okay,
So
Vicky.
yes. Hi, Dolores.
Excuse me. I'm not seeing it either. At the bottom of mine, is it where the Zoom, where it says Zoom? Is that what I click on?
No, no. Go just up from that. And do you remember how I was sharing my screen? You'll be in your Zoom window. And when you, Dolores, are you on a laptop today?
Chromebook.
Chromebook. Okay. Dolores, for your Chromebook, I have my Chromebook too. When you tap on the bottom of that Zoom window, that's where your Zoom control bar shows
Okay,
up.
if I click on the Zoom, then I get a page that's like different, another language writing. So then where do I go?
Sorry, it's my allergies today. Dolores, what you want to do, and I have my Chromebook open, but I'm not working on it. Again, let me just share my screen very briefly. When you tap on the bottom of your screen on your Zoom window, not on the Zoom icon, but in your Zoom window here, you will see a similar set of icons over here. Okay.
Okay. Don't see it. Okay.
Okay. We may need to.
Where is my Zoom window?
What your Zoom window, you know what, Dolores, I tell you what, I think we need to get somebody else helping with you because you're on a Chromebook.
Okay.
Is it okay if I have someone from support work with you?
Sure.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna just keep us moving along, but don't worry, we'll get you going. We have other Zoom classes. So thanks for being patient with me. Did anybody have a question about turning their cameras on and off? And for those of you who currently have your camera on, go ahead and tap on the stop video as well. Let's everybody tap or click on stop video, start video, just so that you can see what it's like to turn things on and off. All right. So I think we've done a pretty good job of turning things on and off. And let me know if you have any problems. And so that's how you turn your camera on and off. And let me know if there was anybody who did not get a chance to turn their camera on. They're still having problems.
Okay, I finally got on.
You got Dolores? Okay, you rock.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you can see me now or not.
I can see you.
Okay.
Looking good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's talk next about our microphones and audio. And again, if you are currently muted, because you're going to hear all the time, people are starting to talk and people say, you're muted, unmute yourself. You're going to see that a lot when you're on Zoom calls. So for those folks who are on a laptop or a desktop, a PC today, you'll go down to the bottom of your Zoom window. Again, you may need to jiggle your mouse or tap. What you will do is on your Zoom control bar, you will see either a mute or an unmute button. And again, if you're on an iPad today or a tablet, you're just going to tap on the top of your screen, your Zoom window, and that's where your Zoom control bar is. And again, if you're on a smartphone today, your Zoom control bar, you tap on the bottom of your smartphone screen, and that's where you'll get your Zoom control bar. All the way to the left of your Zoom control bar, you will see a symbol, an icon that looks like a microphone. And if you are muted, it will have a slash, a red slash going through it, and that microphone icon will have the word unmute. And so when you click or tap on unmute, it unmutes your audio, it makes it active. And once your microphone becomes active, to mute yourself, you simply go to your Zoom control bar and then tap on or click on the mute button. And
It's also on your contact, on your picture of yourself and all of that. It's in the upper left-hand corner, mute, unmute, and start and stop video.
For me, it's on the right corner. Yes, thank you so much
Oh,
for
it is
that
the right
tip.
corner. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm still having my
right.
coffee. I'm still having my coffee today.
You're right. Yes, and there are a number of different ways. And also, here's another tip, since we're talking about tips. If you're on a PC today with a keyboard, when you are muted, meaning that, you know, your icon has a little slash going through it, if you press and hold your space bar key, that temporarily unmutes you. You're gonna, you know, press it and hold it down. While you're pressing down on your space bar key, and this is just for PC users, you are unmuted. As soon as you release the space bar, you're muted again. So, you know, I don't want to confuse folks who are just starting, but for those people who've been working with Zoom, maybe a couple times, just some nice tips. And Jackie, it looks like we have a couple of Jackies here. I'm going to show people how to rename their video display in just a moment. So feel free to, you know, put a last initial Jackie's, but thanks for that. Anybody have any problems muting and unmuting themselves from their Zoom control bar? All right, so 2 things that you need to know. That brings us to the Zoom etiquette tips for today. The first Zoom etiquette tip has to do with our audio, our microphone. So it's a really good practice when you join a Zoom call like this, where we have, you know, a number of participants. And I'm not talking about if you're on a Zoom call with friends and family. It's a more formal Zoom call, like a class situation. The recommendation is always to mute your microphone once you've joined. And that's because it really cuts down on the background noise. You know, we're all at home now. We have the dogs barking, we have the phone is ringing, people are coming into the room to ask questions. So a good practice is to mute yourself, click on that mute button when you're not talking. And then if you have a question or you'd like to make a comment, simply tap on unmute or click on unmute so that you can start talking. So that's Zoom etiquette tip number 1. The second tip has to do with our cameras. So from time to time, you may find that you just need to walk away from your meeting for Zoom meeting for a moment or two, answer the door, let the dogs out, whatever. A good tip is to stop your video, make sure you're on mute, walk away, do what you need to. And then when you come back and you're ready to join your Zoom meeting again, you simply click on or tap on the start video icon to activate your camera. All right, so those are my 2 tips, Zoom etiquette tips. What do we want to do next? Joanne, did you have a question? Feel free to unmute yourself, because I've muted everyone. Are you okay, Joanne, unmuting? There
Yes.
she goes.
I've noticed in some Zoom things that when people do that, they turn off their thing and they go away. They put a picture of themselves. Is that advanced later?
Yeah, we don't cover that here, but the way that you can do that is I'm going to show you when we go into participant screen. You can change your picture, and also if you have a Zoom account, and you can get a free Zoom account, you can assign an image, a picture of yourself or any image to for your Zoom profile. So we don't cover that today, but I'll just show you in the participant screen where you could add it just temporarily, or if you go into your Zoom user profile with your account, you can always have the picture up there. Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Leora, did you have a question? I see your hand raised.
Yes, I don't see the start button for coming back.
For
You said when
coming-
you come back.
When you, there is no start button. So, at the very end of class, when you tap on or click on leave meeting, that ends your Zoom meeting. And then if by any reason for today you got kicked off, Leora, you could always click on the link, that Zoom invite link to join back in, as long as the session is still in progress. Yeah.
I meant when you said you leave briefly and return. When you
Oh.
the start button, I don't see a start.
Great question. So I was referring to your start video icon. Yes, sorry about that. So you're not, when you walk away just for the moment and you click or tap on that stop video, it doesn't stop your Zoom meeting. It just turns your camera off temporarily. And then you'll go back to your Zoom control bar, tap or click on the start video, and you're still in the meeting. You've just, turned your camera back on. Yeah. Jackie M, question.
Hi. What and that? Hi.
Oops.
You
are
today?
I am
And-
great.
Wait, no, I'm the Jackie. There are two of us, but we both said Jackie. But now there is an M. I did not add it. Can you tell me how that happens?
Victor,
I guess
may
it's
have
that Victor
added it.
that did that for me.
Yeah, that's Sly Victor.
But no, and that's fine. But what that means is my question would be, when this is over, am I going to be back to just Jackie for my next Zoom class?
Yes,
All right, thank you.
will be. Yeah, you will. Great question. And we do get to that. So yeah, great questions. Okay. So this is where we talked about our Zoom tips. And the next thing I need to show everyone is, how do we use this chat feature? Now, did the other Jackie have a question?
Yes.
Go ahead and
I'm Jackie L, if that makes a difference. Jackie L, my last initial is L.
all right, Jackie.
If that helps out. Because when
Yeah.
I saw Jackie, I'm like, it must be another one here. And my birth name is Jackie, not Jacqueline. So that's what I always go by. But anyway, my question is, are we going to get to a point, because I'm using chat, but I don't know how to use chat the right way, because I see people put stuff in their from and too. Theirs is in blue, but mine is always in black, and I must be doing something wrong.
You're probably not doing anything wrong. We're going to talk about that next.
Okay. That's what I got.
Great lead in. So when we talk about the chat window, you may find that when you join a Zoom meeting, maybe there are a lot of people, on the Zoom call. The host may have disabled your ability to unmute yourself, mute and unmute yourself. And instead, what they'll say is, folks, if you have a question or a comment, please leave it in the chat window. So now we need to figure out, well, how do we open the chat window? All right, if you're on a PC or a laptop today, you'll go down to the bottom of your Zoom window, and on your Zoom control bar, in the middle, I'd say, there is an icon that says chat. And if you tap or click on the chat icon, it's going to open up a window, another screen, all the way to the right of your Zoom video window. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone today, what you'll do is you will tap on, make sure you have your Zoom control bar open, and all the way to the right, there is a button. It's a more button with 3 dots. When you tap on that more button, there is a drop-down menu, and that's where you'll see chat. So you can tap on chat there. And so again, it just depends on what device you're on. If you're on a PC, you'll click or tap on that chat button. Otherwise, if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you will tap on that more button that has 3 dots, and that's on your Zoom control bar. And then you'll tap on chat as well.
Mine says save chat. Is that the same?
Don't worry about that. You're all the way down at the lower right-hand corner. So you obviously, Vivian, you have your chat window open.
Okay.
Yay. And
Okay.
then what we're going to do next is we're going to practice typing in a message to everyone in the chat. So if everyone goes down to the very bottom of their chat screen, what you'll see is if you're on a PC or laptop today, you'll see something that says type message here. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, at the very bottom, you will see something that says tap here to chat, and you can tap right in there. So what I'd like everyone to do is type out a greeting and let me know where you're calling from today. And I'll put my information too. And then if you're on a laptop, to send your message to the chat window, once you've typed it out, you will press your enter key on your keyboard that sends the message. If you're on a phone or a tablet today, once you've typed out your message in that field, you will simply tap on the blue send button. It has a blue background and looks like a white paper airplane. You can tap on that to send your message.
I don't see a chat button.
Carol, what device are you working on today?
I'm on a laptop.
Okay, so on the bottom of your Zoom window, on your Zoom control bar, do you see a symbol? It looks like almost like a little, comment bubble, and it has the word chat.
No.
No, you don't. Okay, so let me just quickly share my screen so I can show you what mine looks like. Again, for those of you, it might eclipse yours, but so this is I'm on my Zoom window, and at the bottom, this is where my chat button is. So let me stop sharing, and hopefully that will help you figure out where your chat is.
No, all I have is a microphone.
Okay, keep going to the right. So you have a microphone. Does that say mute?
Yes.
And then to the right of that, does it say start video?
No.
It doesn't. No. Okay. It doesn't say start and stop video. And you're on a laptop today, Carol?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Can you just stay on the call a little bit later
Sure.
after we're done with class? Okay, so I can work with you. Great. Sorry about that.
Vicki?
Yeah.
I put in where I'm calling from, but how do I send it to you?
Are you on a laptop today?
Yes.
All right. Do you see where your enter key is on your keyboard?
Yes.
If you press on that, it will actually send it to the chat. So let's do that. And I'm scrolling up and down. We have people from all over the place today. My gosh, Toronto, Atlanta. This is my favorite part. We have Orange County, Virginia, Connecticut, Illinois, Michigan, Canada, Ontario. Lovely. We got a couple of Michigan folks. New York State, woohoo! And where else? Toronto. We have two folks from Canada today. Chicago,
California,
Brooklyn. Okay, so I was born in Brooklyn. My mom grew up in Brooklyn, so I consider myself a Brooklyn girl, even though I've been living in California for like 30 years, 40 years. Okay, whatever. This is my favorite part. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Calling from Oregon, Georgia, North Carolina. So let me know if anyone had difficulties opening their chat, but also sending a message to the chat. It looks like the majority of us have been able to work on this. And so you've seen how you can enter a text into the chat and have everyone view it. The next thing I wanted to show everyone is how we can enter a private message, how we can send a private chat to someone. So right now we've been sending messages to everyone, which means that everyone on today's call can see our message, but you also have the option to send a private chat to someone. And the way that you'll do that is you'll see that there's at the very bottom of your chat window, you'll see that there's a button that says either to everyone, or on tablets and smartphones, you have send to everyone. If you tap on that word or button everyone, what it does is it brings up a list of all of the participants in today's meeting. And you can select another person, another participant's name from this list. You select them, whether it's me or someone else, you can click or tap on their name. And then when you go back down to the bottom of your chat window where it says type message here, or tap message, tap here to send a message, you can then type out a message. And then when you press enter or you tap on the send button, only that person that you selected will be able to see that message. No one else. Okay, so Dina says, I'm on a PC, everyone has it too, and everyone, however, I see that everyone has from. All right, this is a great question. As you've been sending messages, and I don't know why Zoom does this because it's so confusing to people. What you see is once you've sent your message, it just says from me to everyone. And, you're thinking, well, what, how do people know it's from me? Well, just so that you know, all other participants, when you send a message, what they see on their screen is from, Dolores to everyone. So we always know who is sending a message. For whatever reason, Zoom just has different displays, whether you're the person sending the message or you're a participant viewing messages sent on the chat screen. So we know it's from you. For whatever reason, Zoom set it up so that when you send your messages, it'll just say from me to everyone, or from me to Barbara, or, so I hope that clears it up, and you don't need to change anything. Zoom does that automatically. So we always know who is sending a message. So I hope that helped answer that question. Are we ready to move on with our chat? And by the way, it's always good to know how to send a private message, because maybe you're in a Zoom call and you just want to send a message to the host and not everyone. This is how you're going to do it. You'll go down to the bottom of your chat screen. By default, it's set to everyone, and you'll click or tap on that everyone button and then simply find the other person in the list to send it to. And so
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I practiced and I sent a message to Laura, who I don't know. And now how do I go back to being somebody who goes to everybody? Because it looks like the next message would also go to Laura.
Great question, Joanne. So what you want to do, and this is really important, you'll tap or click on that button that says Laura, scroll all the way up to
Can you say that again?
Sure, of course. So that right next to the two, that word two at the very bottom of your chat window, for you, it will say Laura. You're going to tap or click on her name. It brings up that list of participants. You'll want to scroll all the way up to the very top and then select everyone. And that's a really great question, because I can't tell you how many times people will send a private chat to someone, and then they want to send a chat to everyone. And they're like, why don't I see it? Why can't people see it? Yeah. You just have to go back and select everyone.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If she sent, this is Laura, if she sent it to me, how would I know? I don't see it.
Is there more than one Laura? Let me see.
Yeah,
One.
that's that. I didn't see another Laura.
Okay. And you
No,
don't see
it's
it.
Laura, Bashi.
Right, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And Laura, you don't see, you may have scrolled through on the chat. So that's the other thing about the chat. When you have a lot of people, Laura, if you scroll down to the very bottom, do you see that private message?
No.
Okay, you may
I'm on, oh, wait a minute. I'm on participants. And that's
Oh,
not what
you'll
I
need to
wanna
go
be.
into
I want to
the
be in
chat.
chat. Okay, I
Yeah.
want to be in chat. Okay.
And so when you open your chat, yeah, you should see it there. Hopefully.
Top or bottom?
Scroll down to the bottom. That's where the latest, and you may have to, it should be down there. If not, you may need to see it within the message, the chat window itself. Sometimes it might get a little stuck. All right.
How does it show up? I mean, how do you know it's for just you?
Okay, so Joanne,
symbol on
Joanne, would you do me a favor and just send Laura another message so that she can see what it looks like? And you'll know. It'll show up in your messages.
In chat.
In the chat window, yes. Okay, so hopefully Laura will get a chance.
I just sent it, Laura.
You said yes, hello?
One word, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And then I have
But
hello
the
underneath.
one that's, you know what, I think you might be able, right, and if you go up, I wonder if it's colored, because it's, the private one is kind of
Bingo.
shaded. I wonder if
Yes.
it's shaded
It
on you.
is, it's in yellow on my screen.
Okay.
And I see your other one, participating, sending chat to one person. Okay, I'm from California too. Thank
All
you,
right.
Joanne.
Thank you, ladies.
Yay!
I love
Thank
it.
you.
I
I
love
really
it.
needed to know that.
Wonderful, thank you. Akoa, do you have a question? I see your lovely little virtual hand raised there.
Yeah, when I ask a question, I've been talking with Victor back and forth through direct, but when he replies back and I'm somewhere else and I see the little number where the chat symbol is at, indicating this message in the chat that I haven't seen.
Yes, and I'm going to talk about that next.
Is that number specifically for me saying that I was sent a direct message, or is that number only represents everyone?
It represents the fact that there's one new message in the chat.
It doesn't
And
matter.
Akoa, you just send me a direct message. So you can find a red, the message in a red line, direct message, it shows in the red color. So that shows that you have sent me a direct message.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you, Victor.
Thanks, Victor.
What is the bell for? Does that give you a signal, the bell?
Oh, I don't see, it's
In
interesting.
chat?
I don't have, I don't have the bell because I'm a host. Victor, do you? Oh, you're a co-host. Victor, do you know what the bell is? I don't have it. I'm a host.
Yeah,
So.
Laura,
Okay,
Laura, the bell is when someone is coming into the Zoom or leaving the Zoom. Usually you hear like a doorbell sound, right, Laura?
Okay.
That's someone joining
Right.
into.
Okay,
sorry.
In order to do that, do I need to press it?
No.
It looks like it's in blue that I can press it right now. It says, oh, mute notification. You will not see any chat notification in this meeting.
That's a setting that you can turn on and off. So, yeah.
So if I turn it on, press it, it will mute everything.
It will mute your, we have lots of people coming in. It will mute, I think it will stop the notification for the incoming chat.
Okay.
All right. Great.
Thank you.
Great questions. You're welcome. So what I want to do is I'm going to have everyone, and these are great questions, keep them coming. Let's go ahead and close your chat window. To do that, if you're on a a tablet or if you're on a smartphone, you will just tap on the close, that word close on your chat window. If you're on a laptop or a PC, what you're going to be doing is going down to or up to your Zoom control bar, and you will click or tap on chat, and that closes your chat window. And let me know if anyone's having trouble.
Yeah, excuse me, Vicki, this is Dolores. Where is the close sign? Where do I click?
For you, Dolores, because on your Chrome bar, what you'll do is you'll go down to the Zoom control bar on your Zoom window. You'll tap on chat, and that will close your chat window.
Okay, just a second. I lost it. Oh, I'm trying to get back to chat. It went to that other page with all the foreign writing on it.
Right. Okay. So you're still in your Zoom meeting.
Okay, I'm back. So you said to go to chat.
If you tap on or click on the chat icon, does it open up your chat window?
It just remains the same.
Okay,
I clicked on chat. I just still see the screen with everyone on it.
Is that the participant screen, or did you click on chat?
I clicked on chat.
Okay, and then when you click on chat, does it open up another screen with everyone's messages in there?
Yes, that's the one I was on from the beginning.
Okay, great. And then what you'll do is go back down to your Zoom control bar, and when you click or tap on chat, it closes up the Zoom window. So practice that one. And it's okay if your Zoom window, if your chat window stays open.
Okay.
It's not, you're not going to hurt anything. You can just practice on that one. So, and what Akura was talking about just a few moments ago, when you have your closed chat window, people may still be sending messages to the chat. And it's a good idea to just take a look at your Zoom control bar from time to time, because as new messages come into the chat, your chat icon, if you're on a PC or a laptop today, that chat icon will have a red dot on it with a number indicating that there are X amount of new messages that have come into the chat. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone today, you will see that more button with the 3 dots. That will have a red dot on it with a number. And so that is telling you that there are some new messages coming into the chat. And you can then open your chat window, just view the new messages, and then you can close your chat window again. Now, if you're on a smartphone, or I'm on an iPad mini today, when you open that chat window, you may have noticed that it sort of just comes right in the middle. On a smartphone, the chat window takes up your whole phone. So you really do need to close it in order to, use the rest of the Zoom controls. The same thing on, if you have a small smart, like an iPad or a tablet, my chat window comes up right in the middle of my screen. So I can't really do anything, and I do need to close it. And so just know it's in another tip. Take a look at that chat icon to see if there are any new messages coming in, or that more button, more icon, to see if there are any new messages coming in. And so that is the chat window. And so you are now all experts on using chat. And some of you may have noticed there are some additional buttons there. We don't cover those in the beginner class. And they're not always available to everyone. So if you're on a laptop or a PC, you may have seen them. Tablet users, smartphone users don't have those advanced buttons. All right, the next thing that I wanted to show everyone is how we can rename our video display. So to do that, we're going to go into our participant screen. Again, if you're a laptop PC user today, or even a Chromebook user, you'll go down to the bottom of your Zoom window, and you will see on your Zoom control bar an icon that says participants. It looks like contacts, and then there's the number 35. You can click or tap on that. If you're on a smartphone or a tablet today, you're just going to find the participants icon on your Zoom control bar, whether it's the top of your screen or at the bottom. And when you click or tap on that participants icon, that symbol, it brings up a list of all the participants in today's session. And so we have 35 of us today. Now, the way that you're going to rename your little video display screen today is in this list of participants. You will find your name, and if you're on a laptop or a PC, and I'm going to check on my Chromebook too. Yeah, what you can do is you will just go up to your name, and as you move your mouse over your name, there are 2 additional blue buttons that show up. One of them is a more button, and you can click on that more button. And if you're on a tablet or a phone, you'll just need to tap on your name. And it also brings down this list. You'll see edit profile picture for some of you, and you may also see rename. So if you tap or click on rename, there is another little text box that shows up. And this is where you can enter a new screen name. So, if you came in using, just a phone number, or it just says iPad, you can use this screen to type out a different name that you would like us to see. And when you're done typing out that name, you can click on OK, or if you're on a tablet, a smartphone, you'll just tap on done. Now, I know we mentioned this before, but let me just reiterate. When you change your screen name this way, it only changes it temporarily. So it only changes it for the duration of this meeting. When you leave the meeting and you go and you join a different Zoom meeting, it gets reset to your original name. Some of you may, on this little screen, you may have another checkbox that says, remember this name for future Zoom meetings. If you happen to see that checkbox, you can click on it, you can select it, and then it will save your name for future Zoom meetings. But not everybody's going to have that. It depends on the version of Zoom, how you came into the meeting. So anyway, this is important just to know.
Find that? I'm sorry, where do you find that?
Not a problem. So on the participant screen, if you select your name, if you either tap on it or just move your mouse over your name, you'll see that there is the more button. If you're on a PC, if you click on that more button, then in the little menu that drops down, that's where that rename option.
Got you. Okay, I got it now.
Available.
And you do
Did
that,
you see that
you
one?
want it for all
Okay.
your screens, all your classes. Is that correct?
No, it only changes it temporarily. So if you happen to have a checkbox underneath your, where you can type out your new name, you happen to have a checkbox that says, save this name for future Zoom meetings, you can select that, but not everybody's going to see that.
No, I don't see that.
Okay, so when you change your name, it's only for the this session right now.
Got you.
If you wanted to change it permanently, and I'll send this in our after class notes that I'll be sending out to everyone via email, you need to actually go into your Zoom account profile. So you need to sign up for a Zoom account, and as part of your profile settings, you could permanently change your screen display. And I'll be happy to include that. Yeah, question.
Yes, there's a button at the bottom of my chat that says invite. Invite what or who?
Okay, great question. So on your participant screen, you'll notice on the lower left-hand corner, there is a button that says invite. And by the way, when you're done renaming yourself, feel free to just tap done or cancel. And so this means what this enables you to do is invite others to join your Zoom meeting once it's started. And the invite button works just a little bit differently if you're on a tablet or a smartphone versus a PC. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate what it looks like on a PC. All right, so let me share my screen with you. And again, this may eclipse some of your buttons, so don't panic. I'm going to click on the invite button on the lower left-hand corner of my participant screen. Remember, I'm on a laptop today. This next screen that pops up, I tell people on a PC, ignore it, just completely ignore this. Instead, I click on email, this email button right here. I click on email because this is the easiest way to use this feature, very powerful. You have 3 different options when you click on the email on this next screen. We're basically asking you, what email application do you use? Are you a Yahoo Mail user? I happen to use Gmail. The default mail is for everything else. So if you're, an Outlook user, I use Hotmail, you would select default email. When I click Gmail, and just give it a moment. The next thing that's going to happen is my Zoom application is actually going and opening up Gmail. It's loading it. It's taking its very sweet time today. And then it composes a new email message. It's putting into this email message all of the information someone would need to join my meeting. And you'll notice over here, this is the link that someone can click on to join this meeting. Up here in the to field, I can simply type out 1 or more email addresses to people I want to send this invitation to. I'm going to click on the send button. And what it is doing is sending that email to that person that I addressed it to with all the information, I'm going to stop sharing, that they would need to join my Zoom session in progress. And when you're using a tablet or a smartphone, it's the same idea. You would just tap on send email or send message, and you could send the a text message to someone with all of the invite information. And so that's what that invite button is used for. You can invite 1 or more people to join your Zoom session when it's in progress. And you don't even have to be the host. You can be a participant and do this as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, I see Victor's been very busy putting some great information into the chat. We're asking lots of great lots of great questions. I love it. And so let's go ahead and close our participant screen. There are a few more things I need to squeeze into today's session. To close your participant screen, if you are on a smart, tap on close, or you can simply tap anywhere off of the participant screen. If we're on a PC today or a laptop, you'll go to your Zoom control bar and you'll simply click or tap on the participants icon to close your participant screen.
What's Zoom control bar?
Carol, I'm sorry, what was that?
What's my Zoom control bar?
What's your Zoom control bar? Carol, what type of a device are you on again today? Sorry.
On the laptop.
Oh, you're on a laptop. So that is where you'll see all of the different symbols that we've been working with, all the buttons that we've been pushing, the mute or unmute, start or stop video, chat. We call that your Zoom control bar. That's where all those controls are found.
Okay.
Vicki, may I ask an etiquette question?
Yes, you may.
If it applies very quickly. So I've been doing Zoom for a while and chats, etc. Like if Victor just put in a response, if I ask a question or I see some other things and I want to say like or thank you, or is it just a matter of doing an @ sign to who I'm speaking to, or how do you acknowledge what they've said?
All right. So there are a couple of different ways we can do that, and that's where we're going next. It's called reactions. So let me show you how we can use the reactions features of Zoom. So beautiful segue. Thank you for that. You may join a meeting, a Zoom call. Maybe there are a lot of folks like we have today, and the host may say, folks, if you have a question, you just raise your hand. And they don't necessarily mean doing this. If we have 60 people on a Zoom call, when people are doing this, sometimes it's hard to see. I mean, today, we don't have that many people. I can see you when you raise your hand. That's not a problem. But let me show you how to do a virtual raise hand. So if you're on a PC today, PC, laptop, what you'll do is you'll go down to the bottom on your Zoom control bar. You will see a button that says reactions. It's a smiley button with a plus sign, and you'll click on that button. That's where you will see another raise hand button. If you're on a smartphone or a tablet today, on your Zoom control bar, you will tap on that more button with the 3 dots. And on the menu that drops down, this is where you'll see your raised hand. Now, Dolores, and some of you may also have to do this. If you're on a Chromebook, what you'll need to do is go to your participants screen. You'll tap on that participants icon, and on the lower right-hand corner of your participant screen, that's where you will find your raise hand button. So depending upon your device, you may have your raise hand in different places. And what this does when you click on that or tap on the raise hand, it puts a little icon that looks kind of like this on your video display. Now, it will stay there for the rest of the meeting until you lower it. But the way this works is when you raise your hand, do a virtual hand raise, I can see the hand on your little Zoom display square. You may not be able to see it, but I can. And that tells me you have a question. And so I'll say, oh, Sandra, I see you have your hand raised. Please unmute yourself, or maybe the host has disabled your ability to unmute yourself. Let me unmute you, ask your question, and then you can just put yourself back on mute. Has everyone been able to find their raised hand?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
As long as you're on this is Marlene, as long as the hand raising, how do you get it to stay up for an extended period of time?
So Marlene, I think what's happened is instead of raise hand, what you've selected is, it looks like something like this. It's a clapping hands.
Oh.
And that goes away after a few seconds. So what I wanted you to do is when you click on the reactions button or your more button, you actually have the raise hand button, and the icon looks a little bit differently. So when you've raised your hand, the host will see you. They'll say, oh, Angela, I see you have your hand raised. Let me unmute you or unmute yourself. You'll ask your question, you'll make your comment, but then we need to lower our hand, because if you don't, that hand will stay up for the remainder of the meeting, and the host will keep circling back to you and say, oh, Angela, you have your hand raised. Do you have another question? So the way that you lower your hand is you'll click on the reactions button or that more tab, or be on your participants screen, and then you'll see that there is a lower hand button, and you'll click on lower hand, and then that takes away your raised hand.
Thank you.
So it depends
On the iPad, it says raised hands. It's not an image. It's
Okay. Okay, then you can, yeah, it depends. So on my iPad mini, it has a raised hand with a little thing. And so you can just tap on that and then lower hand as well.
Excuse me, Vicky, I'm not seeing it on the Chromebook. I'm not seeing, I went to participants.
Okay, Dolores.
Click on that, and then what am I supposed to see after that?
Yeah, when you, because I have my Chromebook here, that's where I'm looking. If you tap on your participant screen, on the lower right-hand corner of your participant screen, do you see a button that says raise hand?
I do not.
You don't see it on your participant screen?
No, I do not.
Okay.
And I just click, let me click on participants again, make sure. Okay, when I click on participants.
Look on the very bottom of your participant screen. Do you see invite, unmute or mute, and then raise hand? You don't? Okay, all right. I don't want you to get caught up on that one. We'll work on this. How's that? So you have no raise hand.
Dolores, do you find the reactions button? Have you
on a Chromebook? There is no reactions button, Victor.
Okay, she's talking about Chromebook. I thought she's talking about PC.
No, that's okay. Perfectly okay. Dolores, hang on afterwards, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, because I want to show you. I have it on my Chromebook, so I think you should have it on yours. But we'll work through that.
All right.
The other thing, and so we're coming up to the end of our hour. But the other thing that I wanted to mention here, because we've had so many great questions. Sorry, I'll understand if you need to leave to go to another class, completely understand. But if you're able to hang on just for a couple more minutes, let me just show you a few more things that we can do, if that's okay. In addition to raise hand, and Dolores, you don't have this on your Chromebook, so sorry about that. When you go to your reactions icon and you click on it, or if you tap on that more button, you will see a number of different icons on your reactions window on that menu. It's right at the top. On your more button, these icons are all the way at the bottom. You'll see like a clap hands, there's a thumbs up, there's a heart, there's a laughing face, there's about 6 of them. And these are what we call reactions. When you click or tap on one of them, what you'll see is one of these reaction symbols show up on your little video display. And after about 5 seconds, they disappear. So this works a little bit differently than the raised hand that stays up there for the remainder of the Zoom meeting until you lower it. And so again, these are reactions. How do you use them? So let's say there's a participant who is talking and you really like what they're saying, and you want to just sort of give them an attaboy or a clap hands or thumbs up. You're going to use these reactions. This is nonverbal feedback. That's what it's called. And it's just a way of interacting with participants, with the host. Something's funny, you'll put that hysterical laughing funny face on. They're used for all different things, and you can really it's another way to interact with other folks on the call. So you don't have to unmute yourself and maybe possibly interrupt what they're saying. You can just give them a quick little reaction like, yeah, thumbs up. The host may say, hey folks, if everybody understood what I just said, give me a thumbs up. And you would go into your reactions button or your tap on your more button and go to your thumbs up. And so that is your thumbs up. Those are the reactions buttons. The last thing I wanted to cover before, we've run over a little bit, sorry about that. I want to show people how they can change their view. So there's 2 different views that you can work in when you're in a Zoom meeting. The first one is called the gallery view. And in the gallery view, That's where you can see all of the participants or many participants on one screen. The other view is speaker view, and that's typically where you would just see when I'm talking me, the speaker show up in a much larger window with other participants either listed on the side or maybe displayed up top. So this is how you can change your view. If you're on a laptop or a PC today, what you'll do is go up to the top right of your Zoom window, and you will see an icon that says view. It's a button that says view. It has a little grid next to it. When you click on the view, there's a little menu that drops down. So clicking on that view button will show you speaker view, gallery view, and full screen. I'm currently in gallery view, so the gallery view has a check mark next to it. If you wanted to switch into a different view, you just click on that view. For those of you who are on a tablet today, you will have on the left-hand side of your screen, not on your Zoom control bar, but you will see icons that say either switch to gallery view or switch to active speaker. It's on the left-hand side of your screen. Just tapping on that icon will move you back and forth between the different views. And for anyone who happens to be on a smartphone today, what you'll need to do to move to your gallery view is, because you'll start in speaker view, you'll literally take your finger and you'll swipe left on your screen to move you into gallery view. And if you're on a smartphone, you will only see 4 participants on a screen at a time. So you'll need to keep swiping left to see more participants. If you're working on a tablet today, you can see up to, I think it's 16 participants on a screen at a given time. You'll need to keep swiping left as well. And for those of you who are on a PC today, you can see up to 49 participants on a screen. And so that's switching back and forth, gallery view, speaker view, and you might want to move into speaker view from time to time if the host or the speaker is trying to show something on their screen, because if you're in gallery view and there are a lot of participants, each one of your little screens, your video screens, becomes really small, and it makes it very difficult to actually see what the speaker or the host is showing you on their screen. So that's when moving into speaker view is probably a good idea. All right, I've crammed a lot in.
Can I have a quick question?
Sure, Laura, sure.
Yeah. If you're the host, how do you screen share?
That's for an entirely different class, and we do have classes on sharing your screen. That's a little bit more advanced. We don't have time for that today, but go on to the, and let me just show you that. Let me share my screen very quickly because I want one more thing to show you. I'm going into the getsetup.io website, and where it says search for guides and classes.
Mm-hmm.
If you type, well, you have to type it out correctly. Excuse me. If you type Zoom, we start showing you all the different classes that are available.
Tips and tricks, would it be?
I'm also going to press my enter key, and what it will do is it will show. I'm sorry?
Would it be tips and tricks that I would want to say?
Let's see what's on tips and tricks. It's either that one. Yes, because we show you how to share your screen. Yep, that would be a good one.
That's it. Alrighty.
All right, you're good.
Yep.
But take a look at that. Anybody else have any other questions I can answer for today? I know some folks are going to stay.
Jackie, rules.
Yeah.
I put
Hello. How do you?
I was trying to figure out on the button thing. I didn't find it on my. I'm on a desktop, but I didn't find it where it says button. But I think I can do another class to find it out.
Oh, sorry, you faded out there, Jackie.
Okay, I'm on there when you were telling us how to find the button, some kind of button or somewhere. I didn't find it, but I'll just do the class again and get it because I've gotten a lot today, so I'll be okay.
Okay.
Thank you anyway.
Wonderful.
Enjoyed it.
All right, great. And I'm sorry we ran over today. We just had a lot of questions. Yvonne has a question too. Yvonne, did you have a question? You have to unmute yourself. Here, oops.
After the class, you were going to show me how to log on?
To log on to
Zoom, to my Zoom account.
Oh yeah, yeah. So just hang out for a moment or two.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Is it okay to use a cell phone to take a photo of a slide on the laptop screen? Yeah, people do that. You can, yeah. I mean, people take screenshots. So if it's important to you, yeah, go ahead.
When is your next class?
When is my next, for this, when are we teaching Zoom? We have other beginner Zoom classes, but let me check. Hang on for a moment. Let's get back here. When is my next class? Let's do Zoom.
I've shared it with Martha already, Vicky.
You shared it in the
chat. Yes, Martha, I send you a postal message there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mine said May 10th.
Okay, May 10th. Okay, yeah, and we do have other folks who are teaching beginner Zoom classes in addition. So if you really needed to get another class in there, if not, you'll have to wait for the 10th.
This question doesn't participate to you, but I lost my bar down below, my space bar.
Your Zoom bar, your Zoom control bar?
Oh, my whole bar down below. Or shut my computer off and everything. I read that back.
Okay. Right. So Carol, you're actually on twice here today, Carol. That's interesting.
I know. I don't understand either.
I
think
you logged on twice. Maybe you didn't realize you got on the first time and then you got on with it.
Understand either.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is for those of you who have a question, feel free to stay after.
Vicki, this is Dolores. I have to leave.
Okay. And Dolores, you were having issues trying to find that raise hand, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can get somebody to work with you. Otherwise,
I actually have to leave now. I don't know if there's any other time I can do that or not. I have to leave. I have to be somewhere.
Okay, Dolores, I'm going to ask support to contact you directly. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And for those of you who also need to leave, I want to apologize for running over, but we had so many great questions. We had a great class today. And thank you so much for joining me today. Just a lot of fun. I hope for folks who are just starting out, you're a little bit more comfortable using the Zoom controls. And just remember, you can come back and take this class as many times as you wish. It's free. Keep coming back. You can get a recording of today's class if you want to go over it on your own. Otherwise, I do teach a number of other classes, other Zoom classes, hosting a Zoom meeting. I teach a lot of the Google classes, Snapchat, TikTok. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see you folks in other classes. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your Monday because it is Monday. Take care, everyone. Thank you. And thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, everyone.